you were talking a little bit about there still being some things to work on. I mean, how much does it excite you that maybe you're not at full capacity and you're still getting, pretty good results?
It definitely excites me. I feel like even playing against state, I feel like we didn't play our best basketball. So to know that we still were able, to walk out with a win, it just shows that there's so much more we can do. There's really no limit to how great we really can be. It excites me a lot. It's just a great opportunity ahead, and I'm just can't wait till we're at our peak. So I'm excited.
What are some of the items, I guess, on your list that you would like to see improvement on to help you guys get there?
There's a lot. It's a long list. Just the biggest thing is just continuing to learn each other's strengths and weaknesses. I feel like that's gonna really separate us when we really learn where this person likes the ball, where that person likes the ball. We have an idea, but we're still learning where to pass this person the ball, when not to pass that person the ball. Like just knowing where people like, to operate and really do well at. So of course that comes with just continue to play, continue to figure everybody out. So it's just within the process. So we know that, and we're looking forward to doing that.
How do you, I mean, I'd imagine you learn those things by doing it, but I guess do you have to kind of go out maybe to the practice court with a little bit of a different mindset, like, hey, I need to pay attention to where this player wants the ball? I'm curious how that impacts your learning.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, practice is where you get better. Practice is where you prepare. Our practices are harder than the game. Coach O prepares us in practice so that when the game comes, it's nothing that we didn't expect. You get what I'm saying? So practice is where it all happens, where you sweat, the tears, the cries, everything, like that's where, you go through the really hardships so it can prepare you for the game. So definitely in practice is where we pay attention to, okay, this person likes to operate here. Okay, this play we need to look here, or this read, so I think it's just the biggest thing is just our IQ, just continuing to grow our IQ and just continuing to, again, learn each other. And it's all within the process, so I definitely feel like we're on schedule, we're moving in the right direction.
Been here for a while, but what does it mean to you to kind of be a key piece of where this program started when you got here to where it is? I know you're halfway through this season still, but how it's trending when you're going to leave it?
Oh, it means everything. Just looking at where we were and where we are now, and even sometimes I look at where they were before I got here. It's just been a process, and it's just amazing to see. And it just shows, with hard work, what can happen and what can come out of it. Again, we're not done. We're nowhere near done, and this program still has a long way to go. But it's so great to see hard work paying off. It makes you want to go harder. It makes you want to keep going. So the thought of making history, last game against Mississippi State, the first win there since 2007, now Team 48 wants to make history again and do something else that's never been done before or hasn't been done in a long time. It's just we're hungry. We're hungry for success, and we're hungry, to be great. And there's no other people that I would want, to go to battle with every night. We all want to win. We all have the same goals. I'm just so excited for what's to come.
Were y'all aware of that stat going into Sunday?
No. No, we were not aware of that stat. So after the game, knowing that we made history, it just made the celebration, even grander. It was great.
Is that just another drop in the bucket, kind of proof of concept? So
Exactly. It's just saying, again, like I said, hard work paying off. We didn't know that stat going in. We wanted to get the win, not only for us but for Maya. That was our mindset going in. Let's beat Mississippi State. So to know that with that win, our name will go down in the history book, it just makes it 10 times better.
what you see on her kind of leading into Sunday, and I guess now that's chapter's kind of closed for after.
Maya's great. I can't harp on it enough. Maya is our point guard. I tell her all the time, my PG. Like she is, our point guard. She's our veteran. She's our leader. She, like I said, slows us down and then picks up the pace for us. She controls so much on the court. That's like our quarterback. So having Maya there, somebody who's been to a Final Four, who's experienced, who is just like the mom on the court, it's great. She leads us. She keeps us going. The train doesn't go without her. So love Maya. She's a great teammate, and it was so great to get that win, with her at Mississippi State.
I think that was something I think was talked about after the game too, and I guess for her to come in, and so quickly get all of you feeling that way about her. I mean, what does that say about her both as a person and on the court, that she's such a presence that you want to play for her in a game like that?
Maya's relationship with us goes way far past basketball. I know years from now, we would still be, close and still create memories together because that's the type of person that Maya is. She's the type of person that you want in your life, forever, because she's not only going to hold you accountable, but she's also going to be there for you, no matter what. You want people around you that push you to be great. I can't harp on that enough. I don't want to be around anybody that's okay with losing or okay with allowing me to be mediocre. I want somebody that's going to hold me accountable and that's going to push me past my limits, and that's Maya Taylor. She's always going to be there for you. I can call her at 3 o'clock in the morning stranded somewhere, and she'll be there. And then also I can call her talking about this, and she'll be like, no, Maddie, this is this and this. She'll let me know that you weren't necessarily right in that situation. You could have did this better. Those type of people you want to go through life with, because it's a journey, and you're going to make mistakes. But having those people in your corner, people that are always going to hold you accountable, people who are there no matter what, you can't ask for a better friend, can't ask for a better teammate, couldn't ask for a better point guard. So she is absolutely amazing, and it translates off the court and on the court. Nobody else I want. She's great.
In your last 5 games, you've been on an absolute tear. I don't think you've been on a tear like this since, November, December of last year, too. So, back to your individual performance, how are you feeling right now about the way that you're performing out there in these last 5 games?
I feel good. Definitely not satisfied. I feel like there's a lot more to do, and there's a lot more that I can do, but I feel good. I feel happy, Being able to help on my team makes me feel amazing. I never want my team to feel like I'm not in a fight with them or that there's anything I wouldn't do for them, And I know that in order for us to win consistently, I have to, play consistent. I have to do, what they expect for me to do. So that's my goal every night, is whether that's getting a rebound, whether that's getting a big stop, I want to do whatever my team needs me to do because we want to win, and at the end of the day, we want to celebrate like we did after the last game. That feeling is just nothing better with my teammates. So whatever they need from me each and every given night, I'm going to do, and I plan to hopefully continue to be consistent. So that's my goal going into this 2023 year, is just to be consistent and just to always be in a fight with my teammates.
Any other questions for Maddie?
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.